الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So as we were talking about the story of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, today is the part 3 and it will be the final ending stories of the life of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. So in the previous lesson that we were doing about Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, we learned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Adam alayhi salam and his wife Hawa alayhi salam both to the earth as initially they were living in Jannah and they made a mistake, and because of that they were sent to this world. Some narrations mention that Adam alayhi salatu wassalam was sent to India. From Jannah he was sent down to India, and Hawa alayhi salam was sent down to in the city of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. But these are some weak narrations. It's not 100% that this is exactly what happened, but these are some narrations that mention something like this. And one narration also mentions that Adam alayhi salatu wassalam, he performed 40 Hajj, walking on foot from India. So 40 Hajj he had performed, walking on foot from India to Mecca. And as both of them were sent, Adam alayhi salam and Hawa alayhi salam were sent to different places, they met with each other at a place called Arafat. And this is why scholars mention that Arafat literally in Arabic means to recognize one another, to know one another. So this is where Adam alayhi salam and Hawa alayhi salam recognized each other and they met with each other. This is why that place is called Arafat. And this is where the Haji, they go and spend the day and making dua in Arafat. Some narrations mention that Adam alayhi salatu wassalam cried for 70 years after being sent to this world. He would do tawbah and istighfar and repent from the mistake that he had done. For 70 years he was constantly doing istighfar and crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking for forgiveness. After Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam and Hawa alayhi salam were sent to this world, the scholars mention that with them Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone that is in the Kaaba, was also sent down at that same time. And when Adam alayhi salatu wasalam built the Kaaba, and as we know, Ibrahim alayhi salam was not the first prophet to build the Kaaba. Before him, even Adam alayhi salam, and then afterwards Nuh alayhi salam, and different prophets had built the Kaaba. So when Adam alayhi salam came down from the Jannah to this world, he brought the Hajar al-Aswad down with him. And when he built the Kaaba, he placed it at one of the corners of the Kaaba. The scholars mention that Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, as he came down to this world, he was given 3 things, specifically 3 things. Number 1, he was given the knowledge of all the names of different things. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him the names of everything. Second thing Adam alayhi salam was given were the clothes, the clothings. And number 3, Adam alayhi salam was also given the knowledge of different things that he had to deal with in this dunya. For example, how to do farming, how to build things, how to make a house, and knowledge of those types of things he was given as he was sent to this world. So 3 things that he was given: he was taught the names of everything, and he was given clothes, and he was given the knowledge of how to deal with and how to do different things that would come in his ahead of him in this dunya. And another amazing thing the scholars mention here, that is that out of all the women of the world, Hawa alayhi salam was the most beautiful woman ever created in this world. Hawa alayhi salam was extremely beautiful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed Hawa alayhi salam with 20 births. 20 times she gave birth, and at each birth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it such that at each birth she had a twin. And each twin was a boy and a girl. So very special births from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So 20 births means that 40 children. Each birth were a twin, a boy and a girl. And one of the rules of in the Sharia, in the deen of Adam alayhi salam, was that each pair, each twin, were considered brother and sister, but the other twin were not considered their real brother and sister, so they were allowed to marry someone from the other births. So they same father and mother, but if it's from a different birth, they were allowed to marry each other. Just they were not allowed to marry from the same birth. So therefore, as we know, in one birth, at a specific birth, there was a boy and a girl, and that was Qabil and his sister. And another birth was Habil and his sister. So these were two different births. Qabil and Habil were from two different births. So Qabil was not allowed to marry his own sister, and Habil was not allowed to marry his own sister, but they were allowed to marry each other's sister. So Adam alayhi salatu wasalam commanded Habil and Qabil, both of them, to marry each other's sister. So this was the order given to the sons by their father. And of course, naturally, even nowadays, you will find some children, they will not like the choice of their parents. So the Qabil did not like the choice of his father, but Habil agreed. He said that I will marry Qabil's sister, but Qabil was not ready to marry Habil's sister. And the reason the scholars mention is that Habil's sister was not as beautiful as Qabil's sister. So Qabil was upset, was not happy with Qabil was not happy with Habil. That was Habil getting my sister who's beautiful, and I'm getting Habil's sister who's not beautiful. So anyways, Qabil refused and did not accept his father's decision to marry Habil's sister. So now, as they both were nothing was coming to a solution, Adam alayhi salam said, let's do this. And he said, both of you brothers, Habil and Qabil, give a charity, give some sadaqah in the path of Allah. And in Adam alayhi salam's deen, in his sharia, the rule was that the way of giving charity was that you place your charity, whatever you want to give a sadaqah, you place it on a mountain, and next morning, the sadaqah will disappear if it is accepted. A fire or something will come and burn it, and that will be the sign that it is accepted. Next morning, if it is still there, that means that the sadaqah was rejected, it was not accepted. So Habil, scholars mention that Habil was a shepherd. He had a lot of animals. So he gave an expensive goat or a sheep as sadaqah. So he slaughtered that sheep and he placed it on the mountain. And Qabil, on the other hand, was a farmer. He had lands and he had a lot of vegetables. So he gave some vegetables, and the scholars mention that he gave some cheap vegetables. On the other hand, Habil, he had sacrificed an expensive sheep. And Qabil, he only gave some cheap vegetables, something that did not worth too much, and he gave this as charity. Both of them, they placed their charity on the mountain. Next morning, when they both went to the mountain, we all know Habil's charity, his goat that he sacrificed, was accepted, had disappeared, was not there. And Qabil's vegetables that he had placed there was still there. So now Qabil realized that his charity was not accepted, and he felt very ashamed. He felt disgraced, that how will people talk about me now? People will know that my sadaqah was not accepted. So he felt really bad, and he was really he was now more angry with his brother Habil. He was already angry from before, but now he became even more angry. So now he said to his brother, Qabil said to his brother Habil, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions this whole story in Quran in the 6th juz, وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ ابْنَيْ آدَمَ بِالْحَقِّ إِذْ قَرَّبَا قُرْبَانًا فَتُقُبِّلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمَا وَلَمْ يُتَقَبَّلْ مِنَ الْآخَرِ, that both the sons of Adam alayhi salam gave some charity, and one of theirs was accepted, meaning Habil's was accepted, وَلَمْ يُتَقَبَّلْ مِنَ الْآخَرِ, and the others was not accepted, meaning Qabil's charity was not accepted. So Qabil got angry and he said, قَالَ لَأَقْتُلَنَّكَ. He said, Qabil said to Habil, I will now kill you. He's very upset and he hates his brother now. He says, لَأَقْتُلَنَّكَ, I will now kill you. So Habil in response said, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ, that Allah only accepts from those who are God-fearing, who are muttaqeen. Those who give charity sincerely for the sake of Allah, Allah only accepts those people's charity. And then Habil also said, لَإِن بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ لِتَقْتُلَنِي مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطٍ يَدِي إِلَيْكَ لِأَقْتُلَكَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهَ رَبَّ الْعَالَمِينَ, that if you raise your hands to kill me, I will not raise my hands to kill you. If you can do what you want to do. You want to attack me, you want to kill me, I will not do anything in return. I will not raise my hands to kill you. I fear Allah, who is the Lord of the world. And then Habil then also said, إِنِّي أُرِيدُ أَن تَبُوءَ بِإِثْمِي وَإِثْمِكَ فَتَكُونَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ النَّارِ. I hope that you will take the burden of my sins and your sins, and you will become from the people of hellfire. وَذَلِكَ جَزَاءُ الظَّالِمِينَ, and this is the result of the wrongdoers. And as we know, the scholars mention that the killing that Qabil did, Qabil killed his brother Habil. This was in result of him being jealous and hasad from his brother. He was jealous that why was his sadaqah, his charity accepted and not my charity. So he was jealous of his brother. So the scholars mentioned that the first sin that was ever done in the heavens by shaitan was also hasad. Shaitan had hasad from Adam alayhi salam. This is why he did not do sajda. That why is Adam alayhi salam getting this respect, this honor from the angels? Shaitan did hasad with Adam alayhi salam in heavens. That was the first sin in the heavens. That was the sin of hasad. And the first sin that was done on this earth was the sin of hasad also, done by Qabil, and he had hasad from his brother Habil. أول ذنب عصى الله في السماء الحسد وأول ذنب عصى الله في الأرض الحسد. The first sin that was ever done in heaven was hasad, and the first sin that was ever done on this earth was also hasad. And because of this hasad, other sins takes place. So for example, here when Qabil had hasad with Habil, the result of this hasad was that he ended up killing. So other sins come in place because this is why hasad is an extreme major sin in Islam. It's a major sin. It's akbarul kabair. The reason is because it's not just one sin, it leads to so many more sins. After one more thing, and one hadith mentions that every killing that will take place till the day of Qiyamah, the sin of all of those killings will be on the shoulder of Qabil also. As the hadith mentions, Man sanna sunnatan hasanatan falahu ajruha. Whoever initiates, whoever starts something good, anyone that follows that good, the original person gets the reward. And anyone that does any sin, anyone that follows that person's sin, the original person gets that sin too. So since Qabil was the original person, the first person to ever commit the sin of killing, anyone that will kill another person till the day of Qiyamah, Qabil will get the sin of all of those too. So anyways, after Qabil killed Habil, since until this day, no one had ever died. Dunya had just begun. There was no deaths that had ever taken place. This was the first death, first killing. So Qabil did not know what to do with a dead body. So the narration, some hadith mention that Qabil picked up his brother and he was carrying him through the jungles, through the mountains, and through the deserts, trying to look for a place to hide his brother, but he did not know what to do. So finally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a crow. فَبَعَثَ اللَّهُ غُرَابًا يَبْحَثُ فِي الْأَرْضِ لِيُرِيَهُ كَيْفَ يُوَارِي سَوْءَةَ أَخِيهِ. Allah sent a crow that was carrying a dead crow, and it was digging on this earth, and it dug enough to bury that dead crow, and then it covered it with dirt. So Qabil was watching this, and he realized that this is what I can do, and he learned, and he got this understanding from this crow. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that Qabil then said, Ya waylata a'ajaztu an akuna mithla hadha al-ghurab, that I'm such a loser. Awaylatana a'ajaztu, ajiz. I'm such a loser that I'm not even like this crow. I did not even know how to hide the body of my brother. فَأَصْبَحَ مِنَ النَّادِمِينَ. So Qabil now became very ashamed that I could not even do something that even a crow knows what to do. So anyways, after Habil was killed, and because he did it secretly, and how did Qabil kill Habil? Some narrations also mention this, and that is that Qabil was looking for a way. He did not know how to kill, because this thing was never done before. No killing was ever done that, people learn from someone else shooting and people, but at that time, no, this killing was never done. So Qabil did not even know how to kill. So he was wondering what to do, how to kill. So one day as Habil was sleeping, Qabil right away realized that this is the moment. And he right away goes and picks up a huge rock and he throws it on the face of his brother Habil. And this is how he killed his brother. While Habil was sleeping, Qabil threw a stone, a huge rock, on his head. Anyways, now, as Habil is killed, now the father, Adam alayhi salam, does not know where Habil is. Qabil is living as normal, and he did not mention this to anyone. No one knows where Habil is. Adam alayhi salatu wasalam began to search and look around, look for Habil. Finally, after a long time, Adam alayhi salam found out what had happened to Habil, that Qabil had killed. So now, when Qabil realized that my father now knows what happened, see, killing is something that people think that, I can kill and no one will ever find out secretly. But this is such a sin that sometime, sooner or later, this sin gets revealed and people do find out. So Qabil, for a long time, his sin of killing his brother was secret. No one knew. But eventually, Adam alayhi salam did find out. When Qabil realized that my father now knows, and now Qabil thought that he would be punished, he fled from that place, and along with him, he took his real sister, whom he was not allowed to marry. He took his sister, and they both fled. So this is also a sin that is continuing from that time, that boyfriend and girlfriend, running away with each other and hiding somewhere else. So Qabil, this is what he did. He took his sister and they both hid somewhere far away. And of course, after that, Adam alayhi salam never saw his son Qabil also. What happened after? There's not much mention about it, but as we know that before Adam alayhi salam was created, was born, and before he was sent to this world, in Alam al-Arwah, when all the people were together, all the arwah were together, all the souls were together, is mentioned in the hadith that Adam alayhi salam, he once was having a conversation with Dawood alayhi salatu wasalam in Alam al-Arwah. And Adam alayhi salam asked Dawood alayhi salam that how long will you be living in this world? What is your lifespan? And Dawood alayhi salam mentioned some age, that this is how many years I will be living. Adam alayhi salam said, that's a very short time. You're only living for that much time. I've been given 1,000 years. You know what? Let me give you 60 years of my life and you can have them. And so Adam alayhi salam requested Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that can I give my 60 years to Dawood alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted. And now originally Adam alayhi salam had 1,000 years, but now because he gave 60 years, now he only has 940 years. And that was done. After Adam alayhi salam is sent to this world, when he was at the age of 940 years, Malik al-Maut comes, and at that time they were able to see the angels. So Adam alayhi salam saw Malik al-Maut and he said, why are you here? And Malik al-Maut said, I'm here to take your ruh. It's time for you to leave this world. So Adam alayhi salam said, but I'm only 940. I was been given 1,000 years. So Malik al-Maut said, but you had given your 60 years to Dawood alayhi salam. And Adam alayhi salam refused that, no, I never gave my 60 years. I have 1,000 years. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions this incident in the hadith, and he says that Adam alayhi salam forgot, so this is why his children will also now forget. This forgetfulness is coming from Adam alayhi salam into the generations after. Some forget less, some people forget too much, and there's different levels of forgetfulness. You know, some people always forget, and some people forget very less. But this forgetfulness is coming from Adam alayhi salam, that he forgot that he gave his 60 years to Dawood alayhi salam. Anyways, after Adam alayhi salam passed away, the narrations mentioned that the angels, they were the one that gave ghusl to Adam alayhi salam, and they were the ones that gave the kafan, and they were the one that buried Adam alayhi salam. Everything was done by the angels, because like I said, nothing like this was ever done. No deaths has ever happened. So people did not know. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent angels to teach the people how to do, what to do with the dead body. So, and this method, of course, has been continuing from that time, from Adam alayhi salam, that we give ghusl, that we give the clothing, we give kafan, and then we dig a grave and we bury the body into the grave. And this is another lengthy subject of where Adam alayhi salam is buried, where his qabr is. And there's different opinions. You know, if you travel to different places, people will tell you in different countries that Adam alayhi salam's qabr is in this place. So, for example, in India, some say that his qabr is in India, and they have a grave preserved there, that this is the grave of Adam alayhi salam. So one opinion, some scholars say that Adam alayhi salam's grave is in India. Some scholars say that his grave is in Mecca, and there is a place where people say that this is where Adam alayhi salam is buried, in Mecca. And some also mention that his grave is in Baytul Maqdis, in Palestine. So different opinions, but as the scholars mention that out of all the prophets, 124,000 Anbiya alayhimus salam, only one prophet's grave is certain, is 100% for sure, and no one else's grave is 100% guaranteed for sure. We don't know where their graves are. The only one prophet that we know is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Only his grave is certain. We know for a fact that he is buried in that place. All the other Anbiya, we don't know for sure. Yes, there is opinions. Some scholars will say, mention their opinions. For example, Musa alayhi salam's grave, they mentioned that it is in Palestine. And different prophets' graves are mentioned, but they're not certain. They're not guaranteed for sure. Morna Makki Hijazi, a great scholar who gives the durus in Makkah Mukarramah in the Haram in Urdu, he mentions that he says that my opinion, my understanding is that the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept the graves of Anbiya hidden and no one knows for sure is because whenever a great person passes away, people like to do some bid'at and certain things at their graves, some incorrect things at the graves. So this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept their graves hidden, so no one can do any of those types of haram things and those bid'at and those shirks. You know, some people, they go to the graves of pious people and they make dua there, and they ask that pious person for whatever they want to ask. So instead of asking Allah, they make dua to that person. So a lot of people, they do different things at their graves. So Maulana Makki Hijazi says that my opinion, my understanding is that this is why Allah kept the graves hidden and no one knows exact location of any of those Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam. So this is the end of the stories of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salatu wassalam, and inshallah next week we will continue with another prophet inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.